Hey guys, Retired at 40 here. The kids and I just got done carving Halloween pumpkins, and we were left with this bowl of mess on the inside that came from the inside of the pumpkins. And instead of just throwing this in the compost pile like we normally would, I figured, well, why not try and do something with the seeds? We've done quite a few different types of nuts on the Traeger before, and they always get a nice smoky flavor. Makes them a nice crunchy treat. So I figured, why not try some pumpkin seeds with a smoky flavor and maybe a bit of spice twist to it. First thing you want to do is separate all the gunk from the seeds, which is probably the most boring and labor intensive part of this job. But once that's done, everything else is simple from here on. Alright, slowly but surely we're getting there. Alright, we made it. So what you're left with is a pile of pumpkin seeds that are kind of a slimy, gross mess. So these need to go into a strainer and just be washed off. And you don't need to get all the goo off, but it will come off pretty good. So just kind of run them underwater until they're all clean. Okay, so these are still real slimy. So I like to just take them and kind of spread them out on a paper towel. And normally I'd let these sit and dry for probably a couple days, and that sliminess will kind of go away. But for the sake of getting this video out while there's still pumpkins and people wanting to do stuff with pumpkin seeds, I'm going to probably just add some time onto the Traeger and let them kind of dry out with the extra heat. But you can take a towel and just kind of pat them down. While they're sitting on the paper towel like this, it's a great time to get some of these bigger chunks out of here too. You don't have to get everything, because they will kind of dissolve after you start baking them. They'll kind of just go down to nothing. So just transfer them into a bowl, and then we're going to want to add some olive oil just to coat these. These are pretty dry even after a day, but I don't know, they could probably go for a couple, 2 or 3 days maybe. Okay, now that everything is dried out, we want to add a tablespoon or 2 of coconut oil, sesame oil, or you could do olive oil. You just want enough to, depending on how much you got from your seeds from the pumpkins, just enough to coat everything, to get a nice coat so your seasoning will stick to it. I'm using coconut oil just because I like the coconut flavor that it adds to it. Mix it up. And just mix it up so it gets a good coating on everything. Okay, and then last thing we need to do is you need a seasoning. And if you wanted to kind of stick with the Halloween or the autumn theme, then I would do maybe like a nutmeg or cinnamon, sugar, or something like that. You can also just do these plain, which they're actually really good just plain with the smoky flavor, and they get a nice crispiness to them. I like to add a little bit of my secret rub that I use for all my Traeger stuff. I'll make a video on how to make this rub. But you're just wanting to coat the seeds just enough to, just put a little coating on them. You're not trying to kill them out with spices. And then give it a good mix. Okay, once you have them all seasoned, just transfer them to a cookie sheet, baking sheet type thing with wax paper or foil or parchment paper, something that's going to make them so they don't stick to there. The oil will help with that, but it's not a guarantee. So just kind of spread them out evenly, because you want the smokiness to kind of wrap around the whole seed as much as possible. Alright, we'll see you out at the Traeger. Okay, as usual, we want to get the grill going on smoke. And I like to put my stuff on before it's actually up to temperature, because there's no reason to waste good smoke in my opinion. So we'll let that get warmed up, and then once it's all warmed up on smoke, go to 250, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, we're up to 250, so I'm going to shut this door, let this go for about 15 minutes and check on it. Alright, we are at 15 minutes. Let's see what we got. Not much change here. I think I'll leave them in for another 15 and we'll see where we're at. Okay, it's been about half an hour, a little more than. Let's see how these are doing. Definitely drying out. They smell really good. You can see that they're getting a little toasty, which is what you want. 20 to 30 minutes on either smoke or 250. I put mine on 250 just because they were a little bit wet still. If yours are dry, I would probably use smoke. Now we're going to crank it up to 325. And we want to take all these and kind of flip them over and get everything on the other side. And this 325 is going to really make things, it'll give you that crunch that you want. So 325, probably around 30 minutes. I'll check back in 15 or so minutes and we'll see where we're at. Okay, let's give her one last check. They're looking nice and crispy. Really good. I think I'm going to leave mine on for about 10 more minutes. So your total time, I would guess, would be 20 to 30, depending on how crispy you want yours and how many you have and how thick they are and whatnot. Alright, those look amazing. I'm going to try one. They're good and crispy, smoky. Spice is good on there. Let's bring them inside. I love when you first take these off the grill because they have a snap, crackle, pop to them. Just a quick recap. 20 to 30 minutes on smoke, or if they're still a little moist when you put them on, I would say probably turn it up to 250. And then after that, give them a flip. Just kind of, you want to get both sides and get all that smoke and flavor around everything. You go up to 325, and then you'll leave that on for about 30 minutes. You can go plus or minus on that, just depending on how crisp you want them. These have been on for, I don't know, probably 35 minutes. And they're really crunchy. I mean, they're perfect. Just a little bit of golden brown to them. Awesome spice. Last thing you want to do is hit them with just a little bit of salt over the top of them. I use Himalayan pink salt. You can use kosher salt, regular old salt. But yeah, these are amazing.
I like these.
Alright, I want to thank our donor pumpkins here. This one's Nolan's and this one's Hendrix's. And we're going to have some pumpkin seeds. This is Retired at 40, reminding you to live life simple. We'll catch you next time.
Yum.